So they're asking, how do I plan on evidencing that the borrower is no longer obligated on the note from a legal standpoint? And then they're also presenting that court cases don't support it. Material that is presented on my page is always backed and supported by legal statutes, acts, and some real life evidence. Court cases, you're right. A lot of what is being said here is not going to hold up in court. So now let me explain. We continuously keep stepping into the legal world. We continuously keep wearing a hat that someone placed upon our heads when it's too small. It don't fit. We don't like how it looks with our outfit. It stinks and it's old. We continuously keep worrying about what the neighbors is going to say, i.e. court, right? We keep worrying about whether or not we are saying the right things to the right people in the right moments. I'm not saying that that is, a problem. What I'm saying is that is why we continue to be enslaved, imprisoned, held back. For years, this nation has made laws and obligations and placed them upon the people who put them in charge, okay? And they've created an entire system that works for them. It was to benefit us, but it also works for them. And not only does it work for them, but they have been able to maneuver themselves into it like a snake in order to create their own caveat to get us to do their bidding, so to speak. So when this person talks about legal standpoint, what I'm presenting to you is supported by the law. It is supported by the banking law. It is supported by trust and contract law. It is supported by securitization. It is supported by settlement and clearance. It is supported by the acts created by Congress. So you may not be able to go into court and tell the court that, hey, I know that I ain't supposed to be paying for this note because I'm the creditor and it was already settled through the DTCC. But what you can do is force that bank to present that original note and show that they no longer have it, which means they have no right to foreclose. And that is supported in the Uniform Commercial Code. So although what I'm presenting, not teaching, may not be something that you can walk into a bank with, may not be that you can go into a court and win a case with specifically, but as a collective piece of information with the laws to support it, you can now utilize your own knowledge and energy to direct the conversation properly. This is what I keep trying to get you guys to understand when I say make it make sense, okay? So yeah, you're not gonna tell the bank or the court or the fucking whoever that, I'm the creditor and my note was settled. They're not gonna hear that because it don't benefit them. But you can go in there and make the bank prove that they fucking still hold that note. And if they don't, the laws support that they can't fucking foreclose. That is a legal standpoint. Just like being on the side of the road. You can have your driver's license, your registration, your car insurance, and they will still pull you out your motherfucking car. That to them is a legal standpoint, but it doesn't make it right. We got to get out this box, y'all. We got to get out this box. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's wrong, but I'm not saying he's right either. He does make a point. But at the same time, if you know what the fuck you're talking about because you've educated yourself, then you can make the point properly to win your case, to stand legally.
If you are studying accounting for the sole purpose as using it as a consumer defense, you are wrong. But then again, most people have no interest in studying unless they're studying for the sole purpose of going to use it to get out of something next week. If I told you, no, you got to study accounting just for the sole purpose of understanding and learning the system from a corporate standpoint, do that first. Once you understand it, then you're already going to know what to do. Most people are going to look at that and say, hell no. And this is why many people still from 2025 and 2026 are just going to be spinning their wheels. Spinning their wheels. Ask yourself, what concrete today have you gotten out of any of your gurus? Concrete that you consistently apply in all facets of your financial transaction.
You're rocking with the best.
Studying the source, man. Supremely.
Gotcha, bitch.
New Empire talk. Came on reading numbers. They were reading memes. He was reading filings. Planning out the dream. Turn every late fee into case law. He judge bang gavel. He don't skip a beat. They like how you flip stress.
You're rocking with the DJ that keeps the hits coming.
Thomas took notes, broke codes, then he proved it. Out the classroom global and the language fluid. Thomas is the blueprint. Rock that in the sky, let the crew print. From the courtroom smoke to the new man.
You're rocking with the best.
Gotcha, bitch. Supreme Elite team, that's the school stamp. From the first they build to the full camp. New culture empire, watch the flag plan. Supreme Elite team, university. Turn the credit star into currency. Turn the closed door to a first key. Turn the side job to a legacy.
You're rocking with the DJ that keeps the hits coming.
Like a new translation. Into consultation. From survival into foundation. They lost.
You're rocking with the best.
They reply now. He like, know your rights, then apply now. God, that's the real drip. Let it dry now. Thomas is
You're rocking with the best.
let the blueprint. From the courtroom smoke to the Newman. He designed the way we move our 2 cents. Thomas is the blueprint.
Break it off with a hot explosive mix.
From the first they build to the full camp. New culture empire, watch the flag plan. From the bench to the block, he reversed that. Put the power in the pen, yeah, he birthed that. Every mind that he frees, that's a verse that. Whole culture on the rise, you can search that. Hey. Thomas is the blueprint.
You're rocking with the best.
From the corner smoke to the Newman.
Gotcha, bitch.
He designed the way we move our 2 cents. Thomas is the blueprint.
You're rocking with the best.
From the first they build to the full camp. New culture empire, watch the flag plan.
Breaking off another hot explosive mix.
Gotcha, bitch.
Yeah, my stomach hurt.
You're rocking with the best.
Relax.
You're rocking with the best. You're rocking with the best. You're rocking with the best.
Welcome. Today we are on this Saturday evening. Saturday evening. My back hurt, man. I worked out 2 days ago and that shit still. Woo-wee. Man, I squatted. I ain't squatting a minute. I squatted like 150. Nearly tore my ACL. Oh, what's the name? Effie Ladure. And just in case, if you are not familiar, we gonna run back. This was her response to my question when I said, can you show me from a legal standpoint where the courts have accepted your position and what you're saying? She said she wasn't teaching what you're saying. Can you show me evidence where the court has accepted your position? Let's see what she has to say.
So they're asking, how do I plan on evidencing that the borrower is no longer obligated on the note from a legal standpoint? And then they're also presenting that court cases don't support it. Material that is presented.
So right there. Right there. Stop it right there. She said that her case, well, I asked the question because she made a video reply to my question. So I said, show me where you have a court case that says that the borrower is not obligated on the note. I know plenty of court cases where they said they are. So I'm like, maybe, because I want to read the case. Because if she has a case, I want to read it. It's something I can implement. But this is her response.
Go read this comment. So they're asking, how do I plan on evidencing that the borrower is no longer obligated on the note from a legal standpoint? And then they're also presenting that court cases don't support it. Material that is presented on my page is always backed and supported by legal statutes, acts, and some real life evidence.
Okay, so she said the material on her page is always supported by legal statute. Hold on, y'all. Let me get something to drink. Hold on. She said legal statutes, and I don't want to put words in her mouth. She said materials, certain materials, like materials on that page supported by statutes. So let's just give her, let's just say, let's say I give her that for the sake of argument. Supported by statutes, right? But here's the thing, Effie Ladure. Are you interpreting those statutes the same way the courts are interpreting those statutes? Are you interpreting those statutes in the same manner? That's the biggest question. Are you interpreting those statutes in the same manner? Because what I hope, which you're not, I hope you're not one of these, well, you didn't say you teach, so advocator, that however they interpret a statute, that's where the interpretation stops. So if anybody or even the judge doesn't, and why do I have my glasses on? Because it's light. I don't know why it hurts my eyes. Even if the judges interpret the statute different from you, I hope you're not one of these people that says the judge is wrong. I hope when you read these statutes, I hope that you took counsel from those who has more experience than you in interpreting statutes, took counsel from those who has a more understanding. I hope you read multiple case laws surrounding the statute so you can get multiple jurisdictions' opinions and find the common ground between all of them. I hope you didn't just assume that which the statute said on its face. I hope you didn't just take a literal interpretation of it. Now you believe that supports you. Because once again, as I always say, it's the same. I feel like my therapist said that I need to shh. Because my therapist always, like me and my therapist, we're working on this. So instead of me getting up, my therapist says, no more rants. My therapist said, no more rants. Calm down on the rants. The rants are going to be okay. Just calm down. So let me take 5 seconds for the rants and let me just goose faba. Let me just goose faba for a second. Let me slow it down. Let me calm down. I don't want to seem like I'm arguing, yelling. Let me calm down. So he said, I have to do this 5 times behind the earlobe. See, and then he said goes to the other earlobe 5 times, right? And then he said the spot at the back of my neck, just circle that. Okay, all right, I feel better, y'all. Okay, so basically what I'm trying to say is when you go with these, because I'm assuming this is administrative. When you go with these administrative claims, it doesn't matter if you're filing your claim directly with the agency. The agency is always going to gauge whether your claim has legal merits or not based on the court's interpretation and the rules of law. Prime example, whenever people got a 3176C letter from the IRS saying this return is frivolous, what do they always use to make that determination? They say federal courts have consistently held that positions such as yours are frivolous and have no legal basis in law and fact. Every time you send something to the mortgage company and they reject it, they always say, hey, courts have said positions as yours. Why are they saying that? Because it is a universal common knowledge thing that whether your administrative claim has merits or not depends on whether or not you can prove you will be successful in the same claim in court. So if you don't have any case law to support what you're saying, all you have is the statute, then even still, your interpretation of that statute may not be in line with how the courts interpret it. So once again, it's not a fact, it's an opinion. I believe it's like this. So what people need to start doing is say, I believe it works like this, instead of writing it off as a fact.
Court cases, you're right. A lot of what is being said here is not going to hold up in court.
You're rocking with the best.
Thank you. Thank you for being honest, Effie Ladure. I appreciate your honesty. I really do. Want to know why I appreciate your honesty? It's because you just proved my point. A lot of what we say, a lot of what I talk about, it won't be evidenced in court. That means that your claim won't go through. That's my whole point in a nutshell. If you can't prove you can win in court, they're not going to take your claim serious. And just because you don't find case law to support your evidence doesn't mean that the case law doesn't exist. I'm so tired of this. Hold on. I'm doing it again. I know. I'm doing it again. Okay. I resent the notion that just because one person cannot find case law to support their legal cause of action, that case doesn't exist. What if I told everyone that I have well over 100 cases supporting my legal causes of action and bringing up accounting and securitization in support thereof, whereas when many other people try to do it, it gets rejected by the courts? What if I told you I brought up accounting and securitization and I was successful? But what if I also told you the way I argue accounting and securitization is never where everybody else argues? I'm 1 in 5 million in those arguments. Why? Because I don't use accounting and securitization as a legal defense. I don't use accounting and securitization to say, Your Honor, or legal or lender, I don't owe this debt anymore. Accounting and securitization to me is used to explain in detail how their internal operations work. Accounting and securitization is never tied to a legal defense, especially if you're the borrower, especially if you are in default, especially if you're not current. Accounting and securitization defense are best used by people who are current and are the plaintiff. Damn, that sounds so. Hey, you know what, y'all? Let's look at it for a second. Being current and the plaintiff at the same time. Oh, y'all in for a rude awakening. Y'all got to wake up. Y'all lost. Y'all lost. Now, I'm going to say it. Y'all lost. Y'all lost. If you think that this system is all about you waiting to be sued, you get sued, and then you come in as a defendant and want to defend on some FDCPA claim. If you think that's what this system is all, there's nothing more than that. You are lost. I call y'all the consumer mindset and the defaulted borrower's mindset, because that's even worse than you having a consumer mindset when you have a defaulted borrower's mindset. A lot of y'all have a defaulted borrower's mindset. Oh, yeah. Oh, let's act like you don't. Come on. You know you getting those credit cards. You know you agreeing to the terms. You know you swiping the terms. But as soon as that credit card balance is more than your available credit, Now you don't want to pay. Now you don't want to pay. What's wrong with paying consistently every month while you're bringing up your claims? Or do you need to stop paying and then for them to bring the suit and then you try to attack their documents? While if there's a real issue with your case, why don't you just bring the claim like within the first month of you getting the loan? Like, hold on, there's something wrong here. You ain't break this down to me. Why don't you bring the claim current, and before you file a lawsuit, why don't you pay on the bill while you're getting your case together? Why stop paying? Why do y'all stop paying? I have a legit question. Why do y'all stop paying? I just want to understand the mindset of y'all. Why do y'all stop paying? What in your mind tells you to not pay? Why do y'all stop paying? I want to know. Why do you stop paying? Why do you stop paying on your mortgage, knowing that you need a place to live? Why do you stop paying on your auto, knowing that you need a place you need to get back and forth to work? Why do you stop paying? Why do you stop? What's in your brain that tells you that is a coherent, right choice to make? Because I noticed that y'all will play these FDCPA games with these credit card cases, but y'all don't play these same games with the mortgage cases. Why don't I'm not trying to be funny or nothing. I'm serious. I really want to know, why do y'all stop paying? Knowing you have no real viable legal defense to tell the courts from a legal standpoint, Your Honor, this is why I stopped paying. Because every reason that you give to the courts why you stop paying is nothing that's recognized by the courts as a legal reason. So I do got a question. Why do y'all stop paying? Would I hope the answer is not, someone told me I didn't have to pay, so I took their advice? Because if you did, then I'm going to assume that, no, there was a bigger reason why you stopped paying. I'm going to assume that you just didn't want to pay from the beginning, and you just needed something to justify it in your brain. Because I'm pretty sure as a grown-ass adult, you would never just stop paying because someone told you so. Or were you in a position where you just have nothing to lose? But I really want to know, why do y'all stop paying? No. I'm dead serious. No, the question is, what is wrong with paying your bills? No, for real. What is so awful and wrong with paying your bills? I mean, we've already dispelled that there's no secret account and no bills are prepaid. None of our private bills are prepaid. So we can tip that over to the side. But why do y'all, what's the biggest problem with paying your bills? I just want to know. I'm like, Joe, I want to know what makes you stop paying. I want to know. Because I look at people like that as a case study. Like if they were rats, I would have them in a container, and I would just be sitting there monitoring them, feed them certain stuff, and just looking at the reactions and just monitor them. They'll be like lab rats. Case. That's how I study these people, like lab rats. So I'm trying to understand is, what is the hardest thing about paying a bill? Oh, I can't do that on TikTok. God damn it. What is the hardest thing about paying the bill? What is the problem with paying a bill? Outside of a husband or wife got sick. Outside of y'all know the shit. Y'all know the trauma. Y'all know what I'm talking about, like the real like shit that you just can't control. Outside of that, like, what is so wrong with paying a bill? I've never met people in my life until I ran into these spaces where people actually look at paying a bill like it's the worst thing to do. What is wrong with paying your bill? Especially while you're putting your case together. What is wrong with paying your bill? What's wrong with paying it? And why does everything has to be a process with people? Your light bill, process. Electric bill, process. Gas bill, process. Your easy pass bill, you want to do a process on that. Why is what's wrong with just sometimes giving them Federal Reserve notes or credit out your account to pay your bills? What is wrong with that? What is the biggest issue with that? Because I never really heard a valuable reason why people stop paying their bills. I've never heard the real reason, the underlying reason why people stop paying their bills. I never heard the underlying reason. What's the underlying reason why you don't pay your bills? Tell me. God damn it. Fucking tell me. Fucking idiots. Fucking tell me. Not paying your goddamn bills. Goofies. We are live from New Jersey. Had to come up here, take a trip up here, man. Some family emergencies going on right now. So, you know, we've been in the hospital past couple of days, but I'll be back at the hospital tomorrow, early in the morning. We have a special class going down tomorrow, Wednesday. But yeah, I'm done being nice. I'm done trying to be, you know, play politics with y'all. I'm just start calling y'all for what y'all are, a bunch of idiots. I'm just going to start calling y'all a bunch of idiots. That's all y'all are, is a bunch of idiots if you think that paying your bills, not paying your bills is the way to go when you have no legal reason to justify. Hold on, TikTok. I got to hit my vape. So I don't like going live with the camera because I can't. YouTube, I can vape all day on YouTube. But let's get back to what she was saying. Now, for y'all idiots, and I need to hear that you're idiots. Like, I wish I was the person that was y'all lenders. Y'all would be so fucking easy. The stuff that y'all follow, y'all would be easy. You idiots would be easy. Y'all would be easy. These lenders look at y'all like y'all idiots. Y'all easy. Y'all easy. Y'all easy. It's easy to outthink y'all. Now, for real, it's easy to outthink y'all. I run circles around y'all. It's easy to outthink y'all. Y'all still following 40-year-old theories. Don't even have a mind of your own. Don't even want to investigate things that may have an opposing view. You don't even want to hear nothing that doesn't comport what you believe. You will never win in life. You'll continue to get the scraps that they give you, FDCPA claims. You'll continue to get the scraps. And this summer, we'll be going live from Puerto Rico this summer. Y'all tune in. We're going to be in Puerto Rico. We're making our way around the United States this summer. And its territories. I'm not too sure about Hawaii, though. But we will be in Puerto Rico. Somebody let me know if it's hurricane season out there. But I just never understood it. Some of you all need to drop out these spaces and go back to normal, regular life. Paying your bills on time, filing your normal W-2s. Hey, make a couple smart investments here. Probably play the stock market game, play the crypto game, and get it out the mud like me. Get it out the mud. This ain't it. Because the frustrating part with many people is you have fallen so far from the normal realities of the world that you really start to look like aliens and talk like aliens. Like, I never believed people like this exist until I came to these spaces. Like, you guys are weird. I'm talking about weird in your mindset, weird in your names, weird in your documents, weird in these self-grandiose, big authoritative names that you give yourselves, emperors, kings of the jungle of the, and you guys are weird. No, really, like weird. I can never have you around people that I consult with and talk to every day. I would be embarrassing myself. Like, I would literally have to save you from you. You will be embarrassing yourself. If I let 98% of these gurus in on these conference calls that I'm on, I would have to cut you off as soon as you start talking, just to save yourself the embarrassment. Just to save yourself. Because as soon as you're done spewing off that rambling, you know what they're going to do? It's going to be an awkward silence, and then they're just going to pass the mic. Like, nobody's even going to entertain what you're saying. That's the problem. They're not even going to address you. They're going to act like you're not there. And then when we hang up, they're going to be like, yo, why are you hanging around people like that? What's wrong with you? just like I can never put y'all in contact with the SEC attorney. I can never. He may cut me off for bringing these gurus to him. Like never. That's why you will never see these lawyers, like them and professional lawyers, having a dialogue I had in my credit acceptance case. You couldn't even tell which one was who. But you guys are you're not only a danger to yourselves, you are a danger to everyone that's around you in your real life. No, you are a danger. Think about it. There's nothing positive in your spirits. There's nothing positive in your mindset. Everything is an argument. Everything is a combativeness. Everybody has to agree with you. And when people don't agree with you, you get upset. Hey, who sent the fan club? I appreciate you too. My bad. Hold on. I got caught up in a moment. Hold on. There's never, like, when do you ever see these people happy online? When do you ever see them happy? We never see them just taking vacations, just relaxing and just having a smile. You never see a smile on these people's faces. Like this is like they're so far gone removed from life. Like this is taking over their life and their mindsets. Like they don't even know how to have fun in their normal lives. Like they couldn't even put this down for like a day or two and just decompress and just relax. Like they don't even know how to be happy. Everything's a fight. Think about it. You're always fighting in your documents. You're always fighting with the judge. You're always fighting with the lawyer. You're always fighting online with people like me. Every day is a fight, 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 fight. You're fighting battles in which you've already lost the wars. You're fighting meaningless battles. You've already lost the war. As soon as you start subscribing to that BS, you've already lost the war.
So now let me explain. We continuously keep stepping into the legal world. We continuously keep wearing a hat that someone placed upon our heads.
Exactly. So she says we continuously keep stepping into the legal world. We continuously keeps wearing a hat that people put upon our head. Ma'am, where else but court do you go in this world to get your remedy? Where else but court? Where else do you go but court? Somebody tell me where you go to get your remedy. Where else do you go? Contract disputes. What is it? Car accidents, injuries, employer issues, class action lawsuits, unions. Where else do you go but court to settle legal disputes? And this is the BS that I'm talking about with Effie Ladure, because she believes and she knows that what she talks about has no chance of winning in court. So she does what the typical guru does. Whenever the courts don't recognize their arguments, what do? They tell you to stay away from courts now. No, don't go to court now. Stay away from it. They always discourage arenas and venues and when they know they can't win it.
When it's too small, it don't fit. We don't like how it looks with our outfit. It stinks.
It has nothing to do with nothing. And this is what we call an incoherent rambling, because you never made the connection to court in the outfits that you're wearing. Incoherent. You know what? If we was all in a Zoom meeting, this is how I would be looking at her. Like literally, we'll just be standing there like this. All right, John. Yeah, back to your point. I think that was, we won't even acknowledge you.
And it's old. We continuously keep worrying about what the neighbors is going to say, i.e. court, right? We keep worrying about whether or not we are saying the right things to the right people in the right moments.
That's how you get your wins, by saying the right things to the right people in the right moments. Timing in court. Yes, that's how it goes. But once again, it's people like Effie Ladure, like her, because she made a video responding to my comment. And one thing that I noticed about these online gurus, they always are making video responses to me. They're always doing it. I asked a question. What advice do you gurus have for a person who is current and is also the plaintiff in their case? Didn't hear a response. They have none. Everything is reactive, being sued, you're in debt, you're the borrower, they're collecting from you. Like, that's low-hanging fruit. That's why I call y'all the low-hanging fruit. That's why I call y'all the low-hanging fruit. Because that's what you do. You grasp for the low-hanging fruit. I mean, you are what you are. I am who I am. It sucks to be y'all. Y'all have no, it sucks to be y'all.
I'm not saying that that is, a problem. What I'm saying is that that is why we continue to be enslaved, imprisoned, held back.
Remember? Now you start saying courts is like being enslaved. Now you're comparing courts to slavery. Well, if that is the case, then why am I not talking like that?
You're rocking with the best.
Why am I not talking like that? Why don't I share that same sentiment? I'm supposed to be agreeing with you. Even in a case where I believe the judge got it wrong, I still don't feel like that about the courts. The judge just got it wrong. I believe the judge got it wrong. And we exercise our legal rights to the appellate court. This court.
Back. For years, this nation has made laws and obligations and placed them upon the people who put them in charge, okay? And they've created an entire system that works for them. It was to benefit us, but it also works for them. And not only does it work for them, but they have been able to maneuver themselves into it like a snake in order to create their own caveat to get us to do their bidding, so to speak.
Ma'am, this has nothing, your answer has nothing to do. So basically, the typical conspiracy theory. So you don't go to court to win, but yet you see these same gurus filing FDCPA claims in court. You don't go to the judge and get their opinion on it, but yet they're always filing lawsuits. You're not a United States citizen, so you ain't got to pay taxes, but yet they filing 1099-Bs with several 100,000 withholdings. Like, they're so inconsistent. They don't stand on shit that they say online. I'm going to say the word, you people don't stand on shit that you say online. You guys are walking contradictions. You online social media gurus, you people, and the people that follow them, you people. I know you don't like that term, you people, but yeah, you people. Because y'all are nothing like us. We don't even think like that. But proceed with the word salad.
So when this person talks about legal standpoint, what I'm presenting to you is supported by the law. It is supported.
So what you are presenting to me is supported by the law. But yet you don't have any case law to support the law that you claim supports your position. But you can't find no case law.
By the banking law.
The banking law. Now they're all bank examiners. You notice how these gurus are all of a sudden experts in accounting, experts in banking, just by reading Modern Money Mechanics in that old, passed down, washed up view of how the banks work, that pseudo legal law crap, because she thinks she didn't read that same stuff. But everything that's coming out of her mouth, even though she's not saying it, I don't give a damn if she doesn't admit it. Everything that's coming out of her mouth is resemblance of the sovereign citizen theory. Effie Ladure, everything that's coming out of your mouth, my response, your response to me is sovereign citizen through and through. Don't go to courts. They're to set you up. Banking laws. Well, why are you saying banking laws is supporting what you're saying if the banking laws were created by people who forced us to do their bidding? Wouldn't you want to stay away from the banks? The banks are set up, they never lose. Wouldn't you want to stay away from the banks? Wouldn't you want to stay away from the banks? Wouldn't you want to stay away from courts? Then why are everybody bringing lawsuits every day? If this was so true. You see what I'm saying? Can't stand on shit.
It's supported by trust and contract law.
So everything she's saying is supported by trust and contract law. When I asked her the question, can you find case law where the judge says that the borrower is not obligated to pay the mortgage based on the signed note? And she says she couldn't find it, but that don't mean nothing. Basically, well, you don't need to go to court because they want you to do that. They got you us doing their biddings. But you are still saying contract law, trust law, in which those laws are interpreted by the courts. Everything that you're saying, what you're saying right now, needs a judicial determination. Go ahead and just stop paying your mortgage and just send them documents from the banking law and watch they come snatch your house. Watch they come snatch your house. You know they're going to snatch your house. So where's your legal protection? See, you're not even making sense.
It is supported by securitization. It is supported by settlement and clearance.
Remember, securitization to these people is the vague interpretations, the vague meanings. Do you actually think they can identify all 15 players that are a part of an asset-backed securitization? Do you think they'll be able to follow the flow chart on an asset-backed securitization and then follow it to the balance sheet and then understand the schedules that they use, then understands the different names and the words that they give to these instruments as they travel through the securitization process, and then understands the definition of the note and what it's used for when it goes to the secondary market, when it's now converted into CDOs? Now, do you understand how the credit facilities work? Do you think they're speaking that when they say securitization, or are they speaking securitization from a standpoint as the borrower don't got to pay no more? They always talk securitization. I'm just waiting for someone to break it down on the level that I can. It's been 2 years. I've been waiting for 2 years. I've been waiting for 2 years to see anybody break securitization down the way I break it down. Their version of securitization is the vague, and it's always going to be tied back to the borrower doesn't owe anymore. The vague is very vague, minimal understanding. Like there's so many players that are involved in the securitization. She don't even know all the names of the players. You got your warehouse lender, you got your conduit borrower, you got your conduit vehicles, you got your ABS insurance, you got the insurance on the servicer, you got the insurance on this, you got the cash collateral, it's all these different moving parts to a securitization. But she just said securitization is so vague. It's backed by securitization. No, it won't be backed by securitization, because the legal definition of securitization is isolation of assets and making them bankruptcy remote and moving them off the balance sheet. So how does that comport back to a consumer obligation? It doesn't. See, she's looking at securitization from a different level the way I'm looking at securitization. Now ask yourselves a question. Whose version of securitization do you think's right, mine or hers? Which version do you think, who has a better understanding?
It is supported by the acts created by Congress.
It's supported by the acts created by Congress. See, this is what I mean. She says it's supported by the acts created by Congress. I told you, y'all, they speak in broad, general terms. It's never no substance. It's an empty shell. What acts are you talking about? What acts? Remember, I asked you a question, and you're giving me your answer, but everything is hollow. It's a shell. When I crack open the shell, it's nothing inside. because these gurus, these online teachers, they get people fancy by these words that they're using. But when someone like me comes across their live and starts listening and paying attention, it's nothing but word salad. It means nothing from a substance standpoint, from a legal standpoint. It means nothing, nothing, no legal validity. It has no legal meanings, no legal basis, all vague, frivolous, and has no basis in law or fact. That's it. That's all you're going to see on here. And 99% of the times, the shell, crack open that shell, it's like an echo. Yo, 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 yo. Hey, 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 hey. DJ Clue, DJ Clue, DJ Clue. Like you're down a hallway or something. Hollow.
So you may not be able to go into court and tell the court that, hey, I know that I ain't supposed to be paying for this. No, because I'm the creditor.
So you may not be able to go to court and tell the courts that I know I'm not supposed to be paying on this note because I'm the creditor. Once again, she doesn't have to subscribe to the name. She doesn't have to admit to the name. She doesn't have to even agree with the name. But everything she's saying out of her mouth, even though she's purposely not saying the buzzwords, everything that's out of her mouth, everything that what she says, the authority she's relying on, are the same things that every sovereign citizen I ran across says. Yes, ma'am. You are a sovereign citizen. You just don't believe that you are because you think you got statues to back up what you're saying. And sovereign citizens believe that as long as they can point to a statue that they're not a sovereign citizen. No, she's another sovereign citizen through and through.
You're rocking with the best.
Through and through, another sovereign citizen.
And it was already settled through the DTCC.
Prime example. She's trying not to say buzzwords, but she's saying all the buzzwords that sovereign citizens will say. It's settled through the DTCC. DTCC does not settle consumer transactions. I told you, they only get away with this with people who knows less than them. People will sit in her live and give her all the hearts in the world, not because they follow her. It's because what she's saying, it just sounds inspiring to them. But if I say, hey, break down what that person's saying from a legal standpoint. It's saying that I don't gotta you gotta smack them in the back of the head to get it out. There's nothing there. DTCC, that's old 1990s, early 2000s sovereign citizen remedies. So she cited a early 2000s sovereign citizen remedy for something that has nothing to do with a consumer transaction. Oh, this story is good.
What you can do is force that bank to present that original note and show that they no longer have it, which means they have no right to foreclose. And that is supported in the Uniform Commercial Code.
Now she's using the Uniform Commercial Code as a legal enforcement when the Uniform Commercial Code has nothing to do with the enforcement of consumer rights in the context in which she's using it. People think the Uniform Commercial Code is for people to get a free pass out of everything. A free pass out of jail, a free pass as a driving ticket, free pass out of foreclosure, free pass out of auto, free pass out of credit, just Uniform Commercial Code. But ask her this simple question. Which UCC are you talking about? Which UCC are you talking about? What Uniform Commercial Code are you talking about? Are you talking about the broad, you just type in UCC in your search engine and it brings up the LexisNexis and all that? Or are you talking about your state law UCC? Which UCC are you talking about? I guarantee you she thinks the UCC is common law. Just like everybody else who still believes the UCC is common law. If you still believe that UCC is common law, I'm going to try to be nice with this. But respectfully, you're an idiot. Nah, just straight up, you're an idiot. You're low. You're the low. If you believe that the Uniform Commercial Code is governed under common law, then you are the low-hanging fruit that I'm talking about. You are the low-hanging fruit. I wish I could just pluck y'all off a tree and just toss y'all 100 miles going north, because that's where you belong, in the middle of nowhere, wondering how the hell you got there. Because y'all can say this stuff online. Y'all don't practice this stuff in real life. 98% of y'all don't practice this shit in real life. No, y'all don't. It's just talking points online. She's not utilizing this. Talking about show me the original note. And I got case law on my page over here and page over here stating about the original show me the note defense. Every court in America has shut that argument down. So she's the same legal authorities that she claims gives her the entitlement to make such claims are the same authorities that have been rejected consistently in court. And it ties back to the beginning. This is why she doesn't want to go to court with this, because she knows she will lose.
So although what I'm presenting, not teaching, may not be something that you can walk into a bank with, may not be that you can go into a court and win a case with specifically, but as a collective.
But ma'am, everything that you said, the legal authorities, has everything to do with courts and has everything to do with banks. You just said banking law. So if it's banking law, then why don't you walk into a bank with it? You said this, Effie Ladure. You made this video responding to my comment. I asked, show me case law where a borrower, you can win on that argument in court, where the judge says the borrower is not obligated to pay on this legally binding contract, which is the promissory note, which evidenced the debt. You are not the creditor. And I don't have to pull up myriads of case laws on this, because everyone who says they're the original creditor, that they loaned their money to the bank, they're all sovereign citizens in the court's eyes. So even if you don't believe you're a sovereign citizen, if you go into court with that argument, they're going to treat you like one. And since sovereign citizens never win, your arguments are going to be foreclosed by that, number one, from a legal standpoint. But from a real life, everyday standpoint, if you're the creditor, why do you need to go to another person to access your credit? The money that's sitting in your bank account right now, right? Do you have to go to John to access it? You don't even have to walk into your bank to access it. Can't you just swipe your debit card? Hold on. Hold on. Don't you just cool. You could swipe that at any given time, right? Cash App card. Can't you just swipe that? PayPal card. Can't you just swipe that? Credit card. Can't you just swipe that? Business, American Express credit card. Can't you just swipe that? What else? Oh, Social Security card. Let me guess. You could swipe this too, huh? The letter and the number on the back. Oh, H, y'all. I'm at St. Louis, y'all. I'm about to get rich. I found my routing number. I'm at St. Louis. Yay. Fuck out of here. See what I'm saying? You don't have to walk into a bank. You got access to this credit, right? I got access to this credit. There's money on all these cards. I don't have to go fill out an application to use my own credit. I have my credit here. So if you have your own credit, since you say you're the creditor, why are you going to an entity that's going to put you in the position of a borrower if you're the original creditor? If you have the credit, go buy the assets outright. You got the credit, go buy the assets. If you got the credit, go buy the assets. Like, why would I even go through that phase? Fill out an application if I'm really the creditor. oh, I went to you. So the way they look at it is you go to a bank just to loan the bank money, loan them your credit. How about you just go buy that same assets with the same credit that you're about to loan to the bank? And this is where the semantics game. Oh, no, see, it don't work like that. Okay, give me the agreement in the rule books on this credit that you're talking about. I guarantee they won't find one. Oh, and ladies and gentlemen, I know some of you are still stuck in the 1800s. I know. And I know some of you are only doing this because you have to, because you're court fines and suspension of driving privileges. I know that, right? I know some of you are only doing this out of necessity. You're not doing this because this is what you really stand on. Because if they were to give you your driver's license back tomorrow, you would go get your stuff registered. We get it. I understand. But for those of you who are still stuck under a rock, who still believes we operate in the laws before vehicles were created, for you who refuse to accept the 10th Amendment, allows states to make laws and rules necessary to govern the safety and welfare of each state, unless the laws or the crimes and the punishments or whatever was explicitly mentioned in the Constitution. I don't believe driving was mentioned in the Constitution. So since it wasn't explicitly mentioned in the Constitution, it's reserved to the states or the people, not people like you and I, but like the state, like the people of New York. You get it? So I know some of y'all still under a rock because you want to be under a rock, because the reality of living life outside of a rock is too much for you to bear. You know, fucked up your lives already. But this is what we call a driver's license. Okay. This is a driver's license. Okay. You see that? That is what we call a driver's license. You see that? That's a driver's license. Okay. Now, before you get behind, one of these, right? This is called a vehicle. Before you get behind one of these, I know the other one looks different. The other one's at home. The black one's at home. I mean, the white one. Before you get behind one of these, you need one of these, right? See, these go hand in hand. You can't legally drive one of these, and this could be any car. You legally can't drive one of these unless you have one of these. And then you need this registered, and then proof of insurance, just in case you hit somebody, you know you're insured on the road. They don't want uninsured drivers on the road. Now, I know a lot of you think that your estate is going to insure you, but you don't even know how to access it, because you wouldn't be doing all the things you're doing if you knew how to access it. You wouldn't be sending a fake instrument in to pay your bills if you knew how to access it. As a matter of fact, you would be living like a person who accessed it. So just because you go live in the dark, sitting in the corner of your little room, talking about you know how to people access your treasury account, we kind of get the picture. We get it. We see what's going on. But you need one of these, right? To drive one of these. You can't drive one of these without this. So if you don't have the means to get this, or your license are suspended, or your court fines, and your privileges of driving has been revoked, because it's not about what you believe the law is, it's about how they are moving. And seeing the fact that none of you right to travel people just can't get in front of that Supreme Court today to get the DMVs overturned, can you? Huh? Y'all sitting there want to argue me down all day. You just can't find. How about this? Go get the DMVs overturned. I'll be with you on that one. You pull that off, be like, good shit. Let's see how that works out in the end, though. Because I don't see the DMVs being overturned. The Supreme Court hears state cases all the time. I thought state cases are invalid. It's like state laws are invalid. So since none of you are going to get the DMVs abolished, none of you, y'all ain't got that power. Y'all ain't got that smoke. Y'all want that smoke. Y'all just talking. You're just talking. You ain't about to do nothing. You ain't about to expose nothing. You ain't about to do nothing. You ain't about to do nothing but just talk online. That's all you're going to do. You ain't about to do nothing. You ain't about to do nothing. You're not changing nothing. You're not exposing nothing except for your ignorance. Every cases that y'all cite on the right to travel has been wrong. Yeah, I said it. You've been wrong. Doesn't apply. You misinterpreted. Doesn't work. See, if I get pulled over, I just hand them this, go into the glove box, hand them registration, proof of insurance, let them run it. Hey, officer, what I do, man? Ah, man, you didn't come to a complete stop. Ah, damn it. I didn't? Shit. Man, where you come from? Oh, it's watching about. God damn it. God damn, officer. You had nothing else to do today. All right, man, give me the ticket, man. And I just go about my day. I get home, I log on the apparatus, and I just pay the fine. I got caught running the red light, so be it. Got to pay to play. See, that's less stress off my life. I don't have that much stress. That's a stress that I don't need to have. Nah, with y'all, nah. Y'all gonna have court on the side of the road. This is what y'all gonna do. Let me show you. This hold on. This is what y'all gonna do. Right? This is exactly what y'all gonna do. I'm gonna show you what y'all gonna do. As soon as you get pulled over, this is what you're gonna hand them. This is all your sovereign documents. You're gonna hand them this, your sovereign documents. And you're gonna be like, see, the laws that's pugnant to the United States. Yeah, see, I see that. Yeah, see right there. Yeah, I'm not this person now. Yeah, right. Yeah, you see this? Yeah, that means I don't fall under the laws anymore. I'm indigenous to the land. So I'm a Moorish. I'm a Morocco. See, this is my name now. Jonathan L. Bay LQ Messiah El King Al Shabazz El Shabim El Al King. That's who I am today. Sir, what's your social security number? See, why you want to know about my social security number? Well, you have a social security number. No. This here. Let me give you my ID. And it's gonna be some USAR stupid right to travel, $50 for the ID online, some stupid writings on it with your little printout picture that you just laminated on there. It ain't coming from the government. And you want to hand them that. And then immediately you're going to ask for a supervisor because you think the supervisor's there to override his officer. So you're going to ask for the supervisor. Supervisor ain't about to do nothing for you. They never do anything for you. Immediately asking for a supervisor. They ain't going to do nothing for you. And they never do. And then you're going to start arguing again. You're going to get more tickets. Or you end up getting your window broken. And then when it's time to go to court, you come in full-fledged sovereign citizen. Been seeing the same shit for 40 years. That's a day in the life of people that believe in this. Nothing's happy. And guess what? It's always everybody else's fault but y'all's. You never do anything wrong. You could just live in a life, don't follow no rules, make up laws as you go, cherry pick which laws that you want to comply with, and then ignore the other laws that don't comport with your sovereign citizen beliefs. Right. That's y'all. That's y'all. The rest of us, we just go about our merry little way. So that's y'all. Y'all. Y'all.
Piece of information with the laws to support it, you can now utilize your own knowledge and energy to direct the conversation properly.
Like what I did? You talking about what I did?
You're rocking with the best.
You talking about what I did? You talking about what I did, right? The difference between a lot of these gurus and me, they wish they had the results in the manner of how I got it. I was the plaintiff, I was current, and I won, and I own my shit outright. Oh, that's a lovely situation for them. You talking about what I did, right, lady? Effie Ladure, you talking about what I did? See, you're talking theory. I'm talking what I've already proven. See, I'm not speaking theory because I know you haven't been successful. I know you haven't gotten an asset back free and clear. I know you haven't. Because you wouldn't be saying the things that you're saying if you did. See, one thing you can't say about me, I'm just talking out the side of my neck. I've been there, done that. As a matter of fact, I would jump out there and say a lot of y'all gurus hasn't even done what I was able to do. They probably been on here for a minute. I haven't seen no title from either the judgment winning the case or I haven't seen one yet. They keep saying they got him. I'm talking about in the manner I got him. I didn't have to pay, what was it, 7-year contract? I didn't have to pay 7 years. By July 1st, payments were done. By January 26th of 2026, case over. Don't owe no more on the contract. Still have 5 more years to go. So I use this to get me out of that debt. I just use this. That's all I did, was just I'll thank them. Because they never saw me coming. The pro se element of surprise, when used correctly, you are dangerous. Dangerous. They're not going to see you coming. But yes, Miss Effie, I understand what you're talking about. I agree with you. They said they detected something. Was I vaping, y'all? I wasn't vaping, was I? Was I vaping? What did I do? My ID card? I ain't supposed to show that? Oh, no. Y'all ain't see nothing, did y'all? I want to charge a Magnum. Like a Dodge or something. I want a pickup truck. That's what I want. I want a pickup truck. I want to trade my black truck in, but my wife's like, nah, don't trade it. She caught up in the name. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't give a fuck about that shit. The vehicle's a vehicle. I don't give a fuck about that shit. And Mercedes-Benz are definitely not the best trucks in the world. Actually, I think they scamming. All you paying is for a fucking digital dash. They ain't really, you just paying for a name. I mean, they got their perks, but mainly you paying for a name. You ain't, when they start messing with them trucks and them bodies and the engine, you get a Benz truck, don't get nothing after 2017, 17. Don't, you be wasting your time. It's all this shit's a scam. All this shit's a scam. All this shit's a scam. All this shit's a scam.
This is what I keep trying to get you guys to understand when I say make it make sense, okay? So yeah, you're not going to tell the bank or the court or the fucking whoever that, you know, I'm the creditor and my note was settled. They're not going to hear that because it don't benefit them. But you can go in there and make the bank prove that they fucking still hold that note. And if they don't, the law support that they can't fucking foreclose. That is a legal standpoint. Just like being on the side of the road. You can have your driver's license, your registration, your car insurance, and they will still pull you out your motherfucking car. That, to them, is a legal standpoint. But it doesn't make it right. We got to get out this box.
Okay. Okay, so basically she's on this what's right and what's wrong. Courts are not about what's right and what's wrong. That's the thing. Courts are not even designed to be fair. That mindset is going to have you continuously up shit's creek with these people. That mindset right there. That's the mindset that keeps you stuck in this victim mentality.
We got to get out this box. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he's wrong, but I'm not saying he's right either. He does make a point. But at the same time, if you know what the fuck you're talking about because you've educated yourself, then you can make the point properly to win your case.
Like I did. Like I did. Like the one in my group did. Like the big homie Troy from my group did. Like other members in my group did. You sound like what we did or what you did. Are you speaking on theory or are you speaking from experience? Because I'm speaking from experience now. Forget the theories, talking point. I'm speaking for black and white reality facts. I've already done it. So as other members in my group, I've already done it, black and white facts. So have you? Because that's what you didn't say. You're saying what we can do, but you're not saying what you already did. And for the love of Jesus H. Christ, your FDCPA claims is not on the same level of my claim. Just stop sending me your FDCPA wins. I don't care. It's not on the same level. Remember, you are the defendant. You are already in default, and you filed a lawsuit against them, against their behavior when collecting. I was the plaintiff. I was current. The arguments changed. I don't rely on FDCPA. It wouldn't apply to my situation. So stop saying, saying it's not the same. No, a win is not a win. There's wins off merits. There's wins off technicalities. Wins off technicalities or settlements. Wins off technicalities is different from winning off the merits of your case or settling off the merits of your case. Has nothing, the technicality, the underlying issues are never resolved. So stop saying it's the same. I know you want to make yourself feel better, but no, it doesn't apply. We are two different worlds.
To stand legally.
You are studying. So that's all I have today, y'all. We about to head to the Weehawken, be out Jersey to the end of the week. Hey, you in the Jersey area? You want to pull up on me? Pull up. Meet me in Manhattan. Meet me at Weehawken. Meet me at the Hudson River. Hell, you could meet me at World Trade Center. Hell, you could meet me at the 9/11 Museum. You can meet me in Marion. You can meet me downtown. You can meet me on Broadway. Wherever. I'll get up. I'll pull up. They used to call me the pull-up king when I was younger. I will pull up. All right, y'all. Class is Wednesday tomorrow. We are going over this special tax class because the tax season is approaching us. So if you want real understanding of tax law and certain transactions of all securitizations, if you want to be a part of the group, send a message. If you send me a message or a DM on here, I'm going to be getting back with you tomorrow. You will be having the document on what you need to do to get into this class. It's not hard. It's a pop-up. We just meeting up on Wednesday to go over what you need to have together before your finals this year. That's it. Ain't nothing much else but to do it, you know? But I will tell you this, though. 2026, at the end of the year, we're going to count wins. We're going to count wins and losses. That's what we're going to do. We're going to count wins and losses. That's what we're going to do. We are going to count wins and losses. And I guarantee
the Supreme Elite Team University. Secure your seat in this revolutionary class now.
When it gets to the end,
New culture.
when it gets to the end, I guarantee when we add up
The Supreme Elite Team University. Secure your seat in this.
When we get to the wins and losses at the end of this year, I guarantee we're going to have more dubs and L's. But I digress. We about to head to Weehawken, sit on the waterfront. I ain't even do nothing too much. Got my bottle of wine. You know that bottle of wine, the tick of the twine, Tanqueray time will always tickle the twine. And we just gonna sit and watch the river, man. Watch the ducks or something, man. Watch the boats, man. Stare up at Manhattan at night. The lights bright up. We about to look at Manhattan, man. Probably take the boat tomorrow over there, Manhattan, do a little shopping. I don't know, man. I may just chill here. You never know. But we definitely about to head to Weehawken. So once again,
The Supreme Elite Team University. Secure your seat in this revolutionary class now.
New culture.
We set order.
We set order. Yo. Thomas in the lobby, folder thicker than the skyline. Credit acceptance on a resume, war stories in a fine line. Supreme elite, circle round the table, every seat a throne. Consumer finance in his bloodstream.
Using a tax?
Police say a potential customer will try to make an expensive purchase using a 1099-A form. The scammer says they have a huge amount of money in a government trust. They try to use the form like a third-party check.
Fortunately, there are people, businesses, individuals that are falling for this, and they go out and they allow this person to use this as payment for whatever they're getting, cars, furniture, appliances, or whatever. They come back, and obviously the IRS is not going to send you a check based upon
recently, so I'm curious to know if you have heard of it or not. But there's people that will sell a course or a how-to on how to fill out certain tax forms and get back a bigger refund. And this one in particular, it's very complicated. It really doesn't make sense, but they claim that you can take an asset that you own or that you have a loan on, like your home, and fill out a form 1099-A, which is generally only for bankers or lenders to claim property that has been abandoned.
Say that again. I don't think I heard you.
Which is generally only for bankers or lenders to claim property that has been abandoned. And you put the value of your property on it, send it to the IRS, and then on the flip side, you fill out a form 1099-B, which is actually for brokerages for investment income. Which is actually for brokerages for investment income. And you fill that out with the value of whatever you put on the 1099-A, and those were your proceeds, and that was your cost basis, and then you say that you had 20% of that value withheld in taxes. So let's say you had a home worth $100,000. You reported that on a 1099-B as a sale of property, and then you claim that you had $20,000 withheld so that you get that back as a refund. And once again, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. First off, you really don't have any authority to fill out any of those forms. So now you're filling out tax forms fraudulently.
Oh my God.
So now you're filling out tax forms fraudulently. And then if you're saying that you're going to get back a $40,000 refund, well, where is that coming from?
Wow.
And then if you're saying that you're going to get back a $40,000 refund, well, where is that coming from? If nobody paid that money to the IRS, they're gonna know.
What did you say?
If nobody paid that money to the IRS, they're gonna know.
So that's why there's a lot of holdup in refunds lately, because there's so much fraud going on. The IRS double checks refunds before they go out, especially large ones like that. So if you think you're gonna get $20,000 back from the IRS is likely going to ask you for proof that that payment was made to the IRS before they give it back to you. And if you can't provide that proof, you could get hit with a penalty for filing a fraudulent return. Now, if somehow your tax return bypasses that and you get that big refund, most likely the IRS is eventually going to catch on and you're going to have to pay that back with penalties and interest. And the next one was really common last year. I don't know if it's as common this year, but it is getting fraudulent W-2 forms. So make sure you follow me for more tax scams to avoid.
Let's go. Watch out. I know they love, no they love, no they love, no they love, no they love. These what's on my body, we gotta get on. No they love. Yeah. Ain't been too wonderful again.
Stop going for these dumb scams talking about 1099-A, you can discharge debt. Think about this. You gotta ask questions. Most of these people stay in trailers, apartments, ain't got nothing. So how in the world they gonna tell you that they could discharge debt? with a 1099A. If that was the case, everybody would do it, dummy. Like, they ain't saying nothing new. All this is old stuff. 1099As don't work. It's gonna get you in jail. It's gonna get you a tax liability. They're gonna send you a tax bill, and you're gonna have to pay that. Stop being an idiot. Stop listening to these idiots about 1099A, pay your bill. Go, 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 go. You're an idiot.
Congratulations, homie. Didn't think it was real. I thought you was doing fraudulent withholding scams. I actually thought that you put this statement together and sent it to the IRS in Bank of America's name. But nah, as March early this year, refund was issued. Yeah, I apologize, man. But hold on. My wife and I used to have Bank of America, and we actually received 1099Bs from them before. Because, you know, she actually brought stocks and stuff through Merrill Lynch. So I said, well, hold on. If you're getting a 1099B, that means you did some investment through their brokerage firm, Merrill Lynch. So Merrill Lynch, when they send you 1099 statements from the IRS, it looks like this with all of theirs. It looks like this. So then I started looking at the form again, and it looks like this. Number 2 is the 1099Bs you would get for your tax reporting. They don't send you the actual 1099s from the IRS. You just type the no, they don't send it like that. And they never send it directly in Bank of America's name. It comes in the name of Merrill Lynch because that's Bank of America's brokerage firm. So I'm just trying to figure out, why do you keep trying to scam?
You're rocking with the best.
New Empire Talk. Came on reading numbers, they were reading memes. He was reading filings, planning out the dream. Turn every late fee in the case law heat. Judge bang gavel, he don't skip a beat.
You're rocking with the best.
How you turn a loss in the last check? Thomas took notes, broke codes, then he proved it. Now the classroom global and the language fluid. Gotcha, Thomas is a blueprint. Write that in the sky, let the crew print. From the courtroom smoke to the new man. He designed the way we move our 2 cents. Thomas is a blueprint. Supreme League team, that's the school stamp.
You're rocking with the best.
New culture empire, watch the flag plan. Supreme Elite Team University. Turn the credit score into currency. Turn the closed door to a first key. Turn a side job to a legacy. He beat odds, then he beat litigation. Now we teach law like a new translation. From confusion into consultation. From survival into foundation. They log in, lights on in their eyes now. Section this, call that. They reply now. He like, know your rights, then apply now. God, that's the real drip. Let it dry now. Thomas is the blueprint. Write that in the sky, let the crew print. From the courtroom smoke to the new man. He designed the way we move our 2 cents. Thomas is the blueprint. Supreme Elite team, that's the school stamp. From the first lay bill to the full camp. New culture empire, watch the flag
rocking with the best.
From the bench to the block, he reversed that. Put the power in the pen, yeah, he birthed that. Every mind that he frees, that's a verse that. Whole culture on the rise, you can search that. Hey. Thomas is the blueprint.
You're rocking with the best.
From the courtroom smoke to the new man. He designed the way we move our 2 cents.
Heat girls touching my hand. She rolling the dot, got looking advanced. Smoking that leaf, coin global stand. On my wrist like a 6 they can't clench. You look like you on a